Hi, my name is Blanca Williams, and today I'm going to be informing you all on packing lunch versus eating out. And I chose this topic because I always find myself spending a lot of money on eating out instead of packing my lunch when I go to work. I usually pack fruits with me to snack on, but I always end up at the cafeteria for like my bigger meals like lunch and dinner, depending on what times I work that day. I realized that the convenience of eating ready to go foods is actually hurting my pocket like drastically. So I want to ask you all, do you ever wonder how much money you spend when you're eating out? If you think about all the money you could be saving if you chose to pack lunch instead of eating out at a restaurant or the cafeteria, do you think it's worth that extra effort to meal prep? I believe we should all start meal prepping meals to go so we can save money and possibly eat a little bit healthier also. According to the USDA, over a third of the US dollar is actually being spent on eating out services. Now, that's a lot of money if you think about it. For example, if your monthly salary is $5,000, about $1,600 is being spent on fast food. From 1960 to 2014, the money U.S. citizens spending on household foods were actually declining. Now, I understand that we have a corporate society and we just never have time. By the time we get home from school or work, we're just really drained and all we want to do is sleep. And especially for people that have children and you guys have kids, it can be a little harder to meal prep. And so restaurants and fast food joints have become a staple in this society, fast-paced society. Many of us can't even imagine cooking meals at home every day anymore, and let alone bringing it to work with us every day. So I dug a little deeper and I ended up finding a YouTube video on an interview with the financial specialist. And in the CBC News interview, it was by a personal finance writer named Carrie Taylor and Diane Buckner, and they just end up talking about the numbers of how much you spend on your afternoon meal. They both got into detail about how to pack your own lunch for work and school and how it saves a lot of money. And I ended up asking myself, so how much does that burger or fries go for? I probably say on average $10. With the $10, you could buy potatoes and ground beef and end up making burgers that will last you for more than just one meal, like 2 days, and even spend less than $10 possibly. And then Carrie and Diane ended up mentioning a few tips so people could get on the right track to meal prepping. She stated such as stocking up your fridge and your pantry with a lot of foods that you enjoy and making sure to keeping it organized so it can be easier when you're meal prepping. You can buy cookbooks or Google recipes from your favorite restaurants that your family and yourself enjoy so you can have fun when you're cooking. You can brew your own coffee at home, so that saves you that $3 to $4 that you'd spent at a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks in getting your morning coffee. You can pack a cooler or an insulated lunch bag to keep your food cool if there's no refrigerator around you in your job workplace. And you can invest in thermos to keep foods warm. And also you can make it a family day to prep and get kids involved if you have any, and that could be really fun to do. And all these tips were really informative to me because meal prepping was always something that I kind of found like a hassle. And I ended up finding a blog later on Miss Michelle, who ended up having this blog called Making Sense of Sense. And she basically just discusses how beneficial it is to pack your own lunch and have it on the go. She also speaks about opting for cheaper meals and limiting how many days a week you eat out, which can save you a lot of money. And she also had some statistics as well that how much money per day on average every person spends. So on average, men spend $24.93 per day. Women spend a little less, $15.55 per day. And students end up spending $27.47, the most out of those two, women and men, per day. And if you ask me, that's an insane amount of money to be spending per day on meals. And she also had some testimonials from people that ended up trying out this meal prepping strategy instead of eating out. And I'm just going to read a couple of them. So Jennifer C. said, bringing lunch definitely saves money in our household. We make large meals, just my husband and I, to eat, and portion leftovers to eat for lunch as well as leftovers for other meals. You can eat a roast for days by making leftovers into new meals and or lunches. So I would definitely agree with her. You can get a crock pot, make a lot of crock pot recipes, such as like a roast, and that could last you 2 to 3 days, and that could save you a lot of money on food. Then Jill H. said, we have vending machines that charge around $2.50 per sandwich. Chips are around $1. A pop costs $1.40, and if you get a cookie or treat, it's $1. So that's about $6 a day times 5 days in a work week equal $30. I can eat for 2 weeks lunch for that. I would definitely agree with Jill. Vending machines tend to be a lot more, have prices inflated, definitely. And Kelly W. said, easily saves me $30 a week. I just make a little extra dinner, and my husband takes leftovers pretty much every day to work. That's awesome. $30 a week she's saving. Then Jennifer S. said, I'd estimate it saves me on average about $50 a week, and that adds up. So that definitely motivates me to get in the kitchen and cook larger meals so I can start meal prepping and taking it to work instead of going to the cafeteria every day for lunch. And it could definitely help me to finance my money better, especially since I've come to find out that I was spending a lot of money eating out. So to sum it all up, packing lunch is more cost effective than eating out every day because of the average money that you'd save on the daily. Statistics show more income is being spent on fast food rather than groceries, which are cheaper over time. Financial specialists even advise you to spend that extra cash that you're saving from packing lunch on bills, vacation, loans, etc. And then there's the blogger who was surveying individuals on their journey when comparing eating out and packing lunch. And of course, the majority agreed that packing lunch is cheaper than eating out. So I hope you guys found all this information informative and you guys will make healthier choices.